Alright, so here what's up. This is gonna be another video about Wing Chun. And specifically it's gonna be something about hitting arms, hitting hands. The reason I call it hitting hands, or hitting arm is because I don't really remember first of all what the actual name for it is. They call it parrying sometimes, although parrying doesn't really um, explain the entirety of what's happening, because when you say parry, it's kind of like one certain type of movement from boxing. So it's kind of a little touch of that type of idea. But I call it hitting hands because that's what you're doing. It's really, if you think about it and you hear the words hitting hands, what does it mean? It means you're hitting the hand. You could also be hitting their arms, elbow, so you can be hitting their arms. That's the same thing. It's not something that's super complicated. It's not a complicated concept. But I'm gonna break down like the thinking, because I feel the details, if you understand what's happening, anybody can come up with details as long as they're smart enough in terms of fighting IQ. You don't need a Kung Fu master to go and teach you blah 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 blah. You don't need those guys, because if you're smart enough, you can figure out yourself. You just need someone to guide you to the point that you understand what the martial art is, and then you want to create your own thing. Because everything that you create yourself, you're gonna know 100% what it does, right? When you take something from another art that's not yours, you could be using it and you wouldn't know, like, oh, this is how you're supposed to use it. This nuance. There's this touch of thing here, touch of thing there that you're not getting. There's this part detail here that you're not getting. Whereas if you invent it yourself, you kind of have this idea of, okay, I'm making this type of move for this detail. I'm just doing this, and it comes naturally, right? Because it's very difficult to code your fighting style and make it another person's fighting style. That's why in boxing, coaches they do teach you things with the pads, but they have you on the bag a lot of the time for you to figure out your own combinations, and they're gonna let you do that. That should be your own self, your own fighter. A lot of Go Fu masters to try to make you become their type of fighter. You're not actually like getting, better at fighting. You're just doing more of what they want you to do. They want you to be exactly this way. And they always teach that this is doing weight. I mean, I haven't been to a lot, but I've been to a Tai Chi place, which was pretty, not too useful. They're like, oh, you gotta do this. So, most, you know, um, the MMA teachers, they kind of give you options. They talk about, oh, when you're in this position, what can you do? When in that position, they let you figure out yourself, right? I haven't done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I heard about it. They talk about rolling on the mat. That's where you figure things out, right? The teacher introduces a topic and you figure it out. So that's why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people are really strong, right? I'm not gonna say stuff that I don't understand myself, so I'm not gonna go in that direction. So hitting hands, what does it mean? And why hitting hands? Because let's have it example. If you don't have arms, right? How can you fight? Right? So you do have arms. Because you have arms, you're gonna use them. And when you use your arms, you use your arms to hit the other person. In fact, boxing, there's no kicks. It's all hitting. So Wing Chun is great for boxing, right? I just hit with my hands. Your hands are gonna be between you and your opponent. That's the most obvious thing that happens. They can be down here taunting the opponent while covering your stomach. That's what it does. Alright? One hand forward, one hand back. Again, resisting, forcing the distance between you and your opponent. That's a lot of it. So, right. And we heard last time Wing Chun, chin punching, maintain distance. Right. So just a jab, it does the same thing. So what you do in hitting hands is you're gonna go and you're gonna hit your opponent's hands. You have to find some time. You might have to fake it, and then boom. Right. You're aiming for the arms. You know, in boxing, you aim for the liver, you aim for the head. But what you can actually do is you can go and aim for your arms. That's a new thing that I want to introduce, is hitting the arms. Because a lot of people, they don't focus on that. When they talk about parrying, it's this light parry to kind of, they jab, you go boom, 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 boom. You know, just light padding. Kind of just decrease the power, you know, mess with the rhythm. That's there. That is a thing. But you could do more, right? There's nothing that says you can't hook to the arm. Right? You can hook to the arm. You can throw a hook to the arm. You hit the arm. Because by physics, if you hit the arm is going to move. And that can give you an opening. People try so hard to jab, cross, doom. But they don't. If you aim for the arm itself, it's so much easier to do certain things, right? I'm not gonna say you want to use, I'm gonna use the Wing Chun system and I'm gonna use every single way. You have to think about what the idea is and make it your own, right? If you don't like certain move in Wing Chun and you don't think it's very effective, just don't use it, right? Because probably that is something that the Kung Fu master, he's dying, right? He's like 60 years old, he's gonna die soon. He wants to pass on everything that he knows. He doesn't want to like, oh, I already know all of this stuff and I developed all of this stuff and now I'm not gonna pass down all of this stuff. It's gonna die with me. So he wants to pass on everything. So he has all these 108 forms. He has like 208 forms or whatever of like, you know, memorized sequence on a wooden dummy or with people, and you only use like 20 of them, right? There's 200 available, but you only use 20 in most. So you're gonna go through like 5 fights, and in the 5 fights, you're gonna use only like 20 concepts, 20 movements. You know, some of these things, they're just there because the Kung Fu master doesn't have, you know, YouTube. He can't make a YouTube vlog everything for a year and just pass on all the techniques. He has to actually, you know, pass them on, all of them. And then they get passed on all of them. So, really, it's, you know, you're not going to use, it's when you, for instance, yeah. For instance, this one. When are you going to actually use this one, right? You have to set it up. You know, you have to jab, and then boom. You know, it's very detailed because I'm gonna be talking about some of these later, but it's very detailed in that in a fight, a lot of these concepts they included because when they were fighting, maybe once or twice they encountered it, so they want to pass it on. But that once or twice is very rare. You know, but he or she knows it, right? They have been in a fight where they used it. They have boom, boom, boom. They have that, right? So I can just boom, boom. For instance, this one people don't think it works because it doesn't, right? You can't block like this. This is hitting the arm, right? So if you do this, you have to boom, boom, and then step and jab, right? It's So if people think that this is, you know, common block like that, it's not. It's. So I want to talk a little bit about something else, just that came in my head. It's called active hitting hands and passive hitting hands. Active is your attacking, no, attacking hitting hands and defensive hitting hands. When you're doing a lot, most of the hitting hands should be attacking. Because when you're attacking and your hands are still, just this, right? So I just come in at boom, boom, that hand, boom, boom, boom. So come hit the arm, it's out of the way, boom. Right? But if I'm defending, I have to worry about him hitting me. I cannot tell when he starts to hit me. I cannot tell. You know, he hits me. I don't know if which direction he can choose. I don't know how. You know, this is why it's so bad. People in Wing Chun, they all think in movies, right? In movies, it's all, oh, he move and then I move. It's the intercepting fist. I intercept. That's what they call it, and that's what they do in movies. In movies, but the thing is, in movies, you know the exact angle, you know the exact power, you know the exact way that the opponent is gonna be punching you. That's why you can respond perfectly. In an actual fighting scenario, when they try to do that, and you don't know their power, you don't know their accuracy, you don't know where they're punching you, you're gonna get your arm hit when you try to parry. You're gonna get your arm hit, and it's gonna get somewhere weird, and they're gonna attack you. Okay, that's right. In boxing, you have very small parries. You don't have big like Wing Chun stuff. Wing Chun stuff is from when you're attacking. Wing Chun is the art of using hand fists, using hand attacks on a defensive person. Structurally, they're on the defensive. Their fighting stance, their fighting mentality at the moment is I'm going to defend. When they're defending, that's when the best time comes for the Wing Chun fighter to go in and hurt the other person. Because when they're defending, you can punch their arms so fast. You know, even chin punch or chip, you know, so fast that it's gonna make them lose control of their little defensive thing because when you boom, you know, so yeah.